Hey, what's up everyone? Mark Price here with DevSlopes.com. And if you're wondering why I have a Star Wars hat on and a Star Wars shirt on, and why there's a Star Wars poster in the background, shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Star Wars just came out. You're probably like, that movie came out months ago. Well, in the past, which is now my present, it just came out. So in this exciting video, I'm going to show you how to install Android Studio. So let's go ahead and open up our browser and let's just do a Google search. We're going to type in Android development, and sure enough, right here at the top, developer.android.com. Nice little marshmallow here. It looks tasty and delicious. Very cool. Click the Develop tab, click Set up Android Studio, and click the Download Android Studio for Mac button. I have read and agreed with all the terms and conditions because, of course, everyone does that. Ooh, speed reading. And then click Download Android Studio for Mac, and it's going to download. And then it nicely loads the next page for us and tells us that we're going to need Java. Once it has finished downloading, just click the icon of the download file here, .dmg. And then just go ahead and drag this over. Now I've already done that, okay? So I'm not gonna do that now, but just drag it over, and once it's done being dragged over, let's see what happens. So I'm gonna go to my Launchpad, click Android Studio, and oh no, Java not found. You may already have Java on your computer, and if you do, great. And if you're wondering why I don't, it's actually because this is a new computer, so this is a perfect test, and I won't have to go back and answer this in the questions when people ask me questions about it, because I just experienced it myself. So it gives us a nice little link we can click on here to download Java. So I'm going to do that now. And I already have one of these here. So let's just go grab that. Java for OS X. Let's go ahead and click that. And we are going to install Java. Okay, here we go. And this is for Mac, of course. If you're running on PC or Linux, you may get a different, when I say PC, I mean Windows or Linux, you may get a different error, or you may already have Java, and you'll likely have to find a different Java file for that specific platform, which it may give you an error message for, or you can do a search for. I'm going to click continue and install this bad boy. There we go. Got to click a bajillion things to install anything. Okay. There we go. Now let's go ahead and try loading up Android Studio. I'm clicking it from my, let me close this here first. I'm clicking here from the, oh, it disappeared on me. There we go, Launchpad, Android Studio. Okay. You can import your settings from a previous version of Studio. I do not have a previous version of Studio. Welcome, it says. This is the wizard. So go ahead and click Next. And it requires the Java Development Kit 7.0 or newer. Well, we installed Java runtime, okay, but Java Development Kit is different. So let's just do a Google search for Java Development Kit. There we go. We'll do number 8 here. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the development kit for this top one here, and for Mac, in my case. If you're running Windows, you can get Windows or Linux here. And I'm going to download it here. Oh, I've got to accept the license agreement because I've read it. And there it goes. 227 megabytes. It may take you a moment. It has finished downloading. Go ahead and install it. Of course, you download it, then you install it. Just letting you know. Continue, install. Put in my password, doing its thing, writing its files. Successful. Okay. So let's see if it worked. We'll go back over here to our setup wizard, and I'm just going to click the detect button. Hey, and it found it. Okay, pretty cool. If yours did not find it, you can click these dots here and find out where it was manually located. If you don't know where it's located, you can always, from your terminal, install Android JDK or JDK not found And I'm sure you can find something on Stack Overflow that can give you the proper directions and help, just pointing you in the right direction. But I didn't have any problems. So back to Android, click the icon here. I'm going to click Next. Choose the type of setup you want for Android Studio. Standard is fine. You can play around with custom if you want. No need to though. Okay. And if you want to review and change any of your installation settings, click Previous. So these are the things that it's going to download for us so we can properly develop Android applications, 451 megabytes, which is fine for now. Click Finish, and it's going to do its thing, and I'm going to let it do its installing, and you can do yours as well. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes. Welcome back. If yours has finished downloading, as mine has, we'll go ahead and click Finish. And now we're finished. And the Android Studio is now installed. What else do we need to do? One thing I always like to do is just make sure I have everything up to date through the system here. And I click this check for updates now icon. And there is an update, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I always like to get all the tools and everything installed prior to writing any code. So here we go. It's a small update, no big deal. And finish. Perfect. Let's go ahead and go into our SDK manager. Okay. So each Android SDK platform package includes the Android platform and sources pertaining to the API level by default. Okay, so right now we have Android 6.0 API level 23 installed. We can also install earlier versions, which is important if you're going to be building for multiple devices. And so let's go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to go all the way down to API level 17. I think that's good for now. And I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to click OK, and it's going to install these here. Again, it's important because when it comes to Android, most users don't have the absolute newest OS system. So you have to make sure that you're supporting all the different OSs and that the correct backwards compatible legacy packages are installed as well too. So I'm going down to 17 or 16, whatever I clicked on. That's about a good number. So go ahead and let those install. You can install whatever ones you want, target whatever devices you want. Okay, but I recommend getting some of the older versions in there. Oh yeah, that I'm not crazy. And what I'm talking about here with those API versions, let's just go to Google here and type in Android versions devices and click this dashboards one here. This is developer.android.com/about/dashboard/index.html. And this is the chart that you want to refer to. Okay, this is, well, it says it right here. The section provides data about the relative numbers of devices running a given version of the Android platform. Okay, so notice Marshmallow, which is the newest, 0.5, hardly anybody. You got, 13.2%, and Lollipop, and these are API versions. The Android version has, some of these Android versions have multiple API versions. Okay, so notice how this is 16.3, 13.2, 36, and so I believe we went all the way down to 16 or 17 because 10% and onwards, ice cream sandwich and below is very low, and you start losing a lot of features the older you go. Some people like to support all the devices. Depends on what type of app you're building. If you're building an app that can be installed and used on very old devices, then go for it. But I recommend just getting a good, 70% plus of people. It's one of the caveats of doing Android development that you have to account for and consider. So that is why we are installing different API packages. And by the way, this is a great web page for getting information on devices, like who's using what, screen sizes and densities, what size screens are people using the most, so you can get a feel of how you want to build your app, who you want to target it to, and so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and take a look at our installations here. And we are done, at least I am here. And it's finishing the install, and we're good to go. So officially, Android is installed, our packages are installed, and you are ready to go, and you have a little bit more knowledge of API versions and versions of Android. You've got a version of Android, and some versions can have multiple API versions, as you see here with Lollipop and Jelly Bean, so forth. So that's it. Mark Price at devslopes.com. See you later. And remember, to get your free live help, go to devslopes.com and click on chat room. I'm there all the time, as well as a huge community of other students.